Hi, my name is Riley Livingston, and this is my SRP project on the influence of Mark Twain on the writers William Faulkner and Scott Fitzgerald, with the importance of sports writing and the application of social justice within the human community. The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, Mark Twain's literary masterpiece, illustrates the accounts of a curious young boy that leaves the comfort of his home with his best friend, Jim, a runaway slave who desires to gain his freedom and bond their friendship for life. Twain, in his most famous piece of work, The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, uses a renowned, persuasive writing style, setting the standard for William Faulkner and Scott Fitzgerald in respect to sports writing, and exemplifies social justice and its utmost importance on a global scale of social inequality. In addition to being a great writer for books like Huck Finn, Mark Twain was an advocate for social justice. Many are unfamiliar with what Twain did to speak about social justice and foreign policy around the world. As his popularity increased, Twain's willingness to reach out to the less fortunate also grew. Mark Twain first turned his attention to the Philippines. At the turn of the century, as the Philippines came under the wing of the U.S. government, Mark Twain suggested a new flag for the Philippine province. They stated, "Just our usual flag with the white stripes painted black and the stars replaced by the skull and crossbones." Twain used his fame and powerful words to spark interest and awareness about Philippine society. Twain once described, "Loyalty to petrified opinion never yet broke a chain or freed a human soul." In other words, we have the choice to speak out against injustices or say nothing at all, and Twain showed his character and willingness to limit inequalities in his. In 1901, Mark Twain wrote to the person sitting in darkness, "Each of the world's strongest nations," he wrote, "was proceeding with its banner of the Prince of Peace in one hand, and its loot basket and its butcher knife in the other." This story epitomized the shunned and outcasts in society. I truly believe that the writings of Mark Twain, for the first time, really opened the eyes of the world to the big problems of social inequality, poverty, and gender inequality that set the precedent for writers of the 20th and 21st centuries to really expand about. Scott Fitzgerald similarly exhorted qualities worthy of positive impact for social justice in the world. Particularly in The Great Gatsby, social inequality is an evident factor in everyday life. The Great Gatsby is regarded as a brilliant piece of social commentary, offering a vivid peek into the American life of the 1920s. Fitzgerald carefully sets up his novel into distinct groups, leaving a powerful reminder of what a dangerous place the world really is. As a result of this, he creates distinct social classes: old money, new money, and no money. Fitzgerald sends strong messages about the elitism running through every strata of society. This summary of The Great Gatsby proves that Scott Fitzgerald truly cared about all of the social classes, especially the poor. Fitzgerald also recognizes all the social problems throughout the world and the subsequent responsibility to address these concerns for the benefit of the human community that are present on a daily basis. I think the importance of a writer like Scott Fitzgerald to write The Great Gatsby about social inequality pleased many Americans to give them hope, especially the lower groups of society, namely the poor, weak, and marginalized. And I think he did this so that he knew the poor knew someone cared for them, no matter how hard life was. Faulkner exercised his love towards humanity, who he gave his credit to for his overall success for winning the Nobel Prize. A critic of Faulkner's wrote, "Faulkner could influence you by every word you read, every sound you heard, and every sense you ever experienced." In Nobel Prize acceptance speech, Faulkner wrote, "I feel that this award was not made to me as a man, but to my life's work in agony and sweat of the human spirit, not for glory and least of all profit, but to create out of the materials of the human spirit something which did not exist before." William Faulkner insists the order of humanity and the institution of social justice with the following quote, "Never be afraid to raise your voice for honesty and truth and compassion against injustice and lying and greed. If people all over the world would do this, it would change the earth." I think the importance of a writer with the caliber of William Faulkner to win the Nobel Prize in 1949 and give all of his credit to humanity is truly astounding because there was so much conflict occurring in the world, and at the time he only recognized the good in humanity in everything that he saw. The Loyola High School grad attributes: open to growth, intellectually distinguished, religious, loving, committed to justice, and developing as a leader, as well as the JSEA, the Jesuit Secondary Education Association, are called upon by writers like Mark Twain for us to do in our daily lives. Social justice is defined as promoting a just society by challenging injustice and valuing diversity. It exists when all people share a common humanity and therefore have a right to equitable treatment, support for their human rights, and fair allocation of human resources. Mother Teresa once said, "We think sometimes that poverty is only being hungry, naked, and homeless. The poverty of being unwanted, unloved, and uncared for is the greatest poverty. We must start in our own homes to remedy this kind of poverty." Thanks for watching.